On a chilly October night in 1953, a 15-year-old girl vanished without a trace, leaving behind only questions and a community in turmoil. What happened to Evelyn Hartley as she babysat in Crosse, Wisconsin? The chilling details that followed would haunt the town forever. Evelyn Hartley was a bright and ambitious teenager who had her whole life ahead of her. At just 15, she was known for her kindness, intelligence, and strong work ethic. On October 24, 1953, Evelyn was babysitting for the family of a local doctor, Dr. Arthur and Mrs. Hartley, in their quiet neighborhood in Crosse, Wisconsin. The Hartleys had entrusted their daughter to Evelyn's capable hands, and she was thrilled to earn some extra money while spending time with the children. As the evening progressed, everything seemed normal. Evelyn had arrived at the Hartleys' home around 6:30 p.m., and by all accounts, she was in good spirits. The family left for a local event, confident in their babysitter's abilities. But as the hours ticked by, their confidence would soon turn to dread. When they returned home that evening, they found the house eerily quiet. There was no sign of Evelyn, no indication of what had occurred. Her car was still in the driveway, and her belongings were untouched. What could have happened to this vibrant young girl? The first alarm bells rang, and the search for Evelyn Hartley began. As news of Evelyn's disappearance spread through Crosse, panic gripped the town. By the next morning, hundreds of volunteers had mobilized to search for the missing girl. Local law enforcement quickly stepped in, launching an extensive investigation. They scoured the neighborhood, questioning neighbors and searching the surrounding area for any signs of Evelyn. The police found a few clues that only deepened the mystery. The doors to the Hartley home were locked, and there were no signs of forced entry. Her personal items, including her purse and shoes, were left behind, leading investigators to believe she had not intended to leave. The timeline was critical. Evelyn was last seen at approximately 10:30 p.m., according to the Hartley family. But as the investigation continued, inconsistencies began to emerge. Some witnesses reported seeing a strange man lurking near the Hartley home that evening. Others claimed to have heard a commotion around the time Evelyn disappeared. The authorities were faced with conflicting reports, making it difficult to piece together a clear picture of what had happened. As the investigation into Evelyn's disappearance deepened, police began to focus on potential suspects. One of the first individuals they looked into was a local man named Robert D. Lintner, who had a history of troubling behavior. He lived nearby and was known to have a fascination with young girls. However, despite being questioned, Lintner denied any involvement, and there was insufficient evidence to charge him. The case took another turn when investigators learned about an alleged sighting of Evelyn in a nearby town just days after her disappearance. This led to a frenzy of activity, with police chasing down leads that seemed promising but ultimately led to dead ends. The local community was on high alert, with residents forming search parties and distributing flyers with Evelyn's picture. But as the days turned into weeks, hope began to wane. The police had to confront the reality that they were dealing with a possible abduction or worse. The media coverage intensified, with reports detailing the search efforts, but each passing day brought more despair. What truly happened to Evelyn Hartley on that fateful night? As the months turned into a year, the investigation into Evelyn Hartley's disappearance took a pivotal turn. In early 1954, a local farmer discovered a set of remains in a secluded area just outside of Crosse. The remains were analyzed, but they were not conclusively identified as Evelyn's. However, the discovery reignited interest in the case, and police launched a renewed investigation. They combed through evidence again, looking for anything that had been overlooked. In the meantime, the community remained on edge. Parents were hesitant to let their children out of their sight, and there was an overwhelming sense of fear. The case became a focal point in Crosse, with constant updates and speculation in the media. Then, in 1955, a man named Joseph K. Kearney was arrested for unrelated charges. During the interrogation, he mentioned having seen a girl matching Evelyn's description on the night she vanished. This information led investigators to re-examine Kearney's background. Could he have been involved in her disappearance? With new leads emerging, the case that had seemed stagnant was starting to shift once again. Despite the renewed efforts, Evelyn Hartley's case remained unsolved. The 1950s passed, and the frustration of not knowing what happened to Evelyn weighed heavily on the community. In the years that followed, theories about her disappearance proliferated. Some speculated that she had run away, while others believed she had fallen victim to a predator. The police continued to receive tips, but none led to a breakthrough. Over the years, Evelyn's family held on to hope. They remained active in the search for answers, participating in vigils and keeping her memory alive through community events. In 1963, the case was officially classified as a cold case, but that did not stop local law enforcement from revisiting it periodically. Each time new information surfaced, the investigation team would dive back into the evidence, looking for anything that could lead them to the truth. In 1979, another lead surfaced when a woman claimed to have seen Evelyn in another state. This prompted police to follow up, but the clues led nowhere. Evelyn Hartley's disappearance became one of Wisconsin's most enduring mysteries, leaving her family to wonder what truly happened to their beloved daughter. Today, nearly 70 years after Evelyn Hartley disappeared, her case still remains unsolved. The haunting question lingers: what really happened to her that night? Was she taken against her will, or did she meet with an unfortunate accident? The lack of closure has left her family and the community in perpetual anguish. In 2020, Crosse police announced that they would revisit the case with modern technology, hoping that advances in forensic science might yield new results. However, the passage of time has made it increasingly difficult to find definitive answers. As new generations emerge, they learn about Evelyn's story, ensuring that her name is not forgotten. Each year, the community holds memorials and events in her honor, hoping to keep the search for truth alive. Yet the chilling reality remains. Evelyn Hartley's fate is a mystery that may never be solved. The unanswered questions persist, leaving us to ponder the fragility of life and the unknowns that can change everything in an instant.